Happy Friday, it's a budget mic review day. We are looking at the Fifine K031 wireless transmitter and USB system. Hi and welcome back to another Friday show. On this channel I do gear and filmmaking and also audio stuff as well as composing and all things creative. And if any of that interests you in any way, please consider subscribing to the channel. You'd be joining a movement and a family. All of us are moving towards greatness together in 2018. So I had a company named Fifine or Fifine. I'm still not quite sure how to pronounce it. They are a budget mic company selling their products via Amazon.com, and they reached out to me, asked if I'd do a review, and I said yes. They sent the mic to me for free. So this mic was a gift from them. They did not ask me to be biased. I'm going to be completely unbiased. They're not paying for this or asking me for a certain outcome. They're just wanting a review of their microphone. So the Fifine technology K031 is a wireless microphone system. It comes in a box with a wireless transmitter, a microphone capsule that has a cable that goes into the transmitter, as well as a USB receiver, where this is interesting and it makes this mic kind of different and positions itself a little bit different in the budget or value mic market. Some of the other accessories, it does come with a foam windscreen on top of the microphone, as well as a 3.5mm aux cable to allow you to plug output into a live situation, that kind of a thing. Packaging is really nice. It looks really good. Got a sleek and modern packaging, which is great, as opposed to the budget mic I did in the fall, which was a Lavalier system. Packaging was very outdated, and that stuff's important to me and a lot of creatives. So make your packaging good. Fifine, you're doing great. Fifine. When I'm looking at a new microphone, especially a value mic, I ask 3 questions about the mic. How does it sound? How does it function, and what does it cost? And with those 3 questions answered, you can really differentiate which mic you want and kind of rank them in your own arsenal and decide which one is good for which situation or which one you want to invest in. So let's start with how does it sound? Up till now, you've been listening to the Countryman Emw on my shirt, just to start with a neutral sound from a really awesome mic that I like to use a lot when I'm just plugging into a recorder with 12 volts of phantom power. But now we're going to switch over to the Fifine K031. First thing you'll notice, not a lot of bass response. Bass response isn't common in lav mics, but this one really doesn't have any. Also, quite a bit of muddiness in the 2.3 to 4, 500 range. We're going to look at the EQ right now. And lastly, it does not have a tippy tip-top high end. It only records to about 16,000 hertz. Actually, the mic capsule itself, which is the big one here on my shirt, as opposed to the Countryman, which is the little one, only records at 16,000 hertz, which isn't a huge deal. Many people can't hear above 15. Some of us can hear up to 18. Supposedly humans, the threshold for humans is 20. Rarely do you get people that can hear up to 20, but if a mic records that and above, there's a theory that says those really high frequencies do affect the frequencies we hear down lower. So it's a budget mic, it's a value mic, so we're not going to really knock it for any of this yet. We're going to move on from how does it sound to how does it function. And in this case, it does have a wireless transmitter. Wireless transmitter goes to a receiver that is actually on a USB stick and goes directly into a computer. This is new to me and interesting, and here's where I think they could position themselves in the microphone market. So new videographers starting out looking for audio tools, they are going to want some sort of a lavalier system to conduct interviews or do live events. Well, if you don't own a recorder, which does happen a lot with new starting out video people, this will allow you to record directly into your laptop, directly into your computer. I plugged the USB stick into my MacBook Pro and it recognized the stick immediately, asked me if I wanted to switch it as my main audio input, and then when I opened Logic Pro X to record it, I had gain controls right there in Logic. So that was huge. That's a huge bang for the buck. As far as wireless transmission goes, I did get some noise, some of that nasty electronic noise, when I was just sitting at the kitchen table and messing with the signal, listening through it. I also did a little bit of a distance test where I took it just as far away as I could, and about 100, 150 feet I started to crackle with the signal. 100, probably about 110. Now that signal was going through the front wall of my house, but it's not a very thick wall, nor is there insulation in it. I live in an old home, so it's cold this time of year. But about 100, 150 feet, it started to crackle, and I got all the way up to 300, and it was still connected, but very crackly, cutting in and out. To be expected, but if you got to think about that for live events, if you're going to use this on a stage subject while you're recording in the back of a room, that kind of thing, keep that in mind. Final question I ask about a value mic is, what does it cost? Currently on Amazon, the Fifine K031 wireless lavalier mic runs for about $40. That is a massive value for a microphone that transmits wirelessly, as well as a decent signal into the microphone. The big downsides of this mic are the capsule size, the clunkiness of it, the low quality of the actual mic diaphragm. When you hear that audio, you're just losing some of your low and high end, but again, it's a budget mic, so we're not knocking it for that. For a $40 mic, it's phenomenal sounding. I mean, if you compare it to the Comica, I think it sounds a lot cleaner than that Comica Dio, whatever that mic was, than the Comica mic I reviewed last fall. And I'm gonna do a side-by-side real quick between that Comica from that old video and this current one. So first off, we're listening to this Comica right here on my shirt. It's the big one. It's got a big old foam screen on it, which is handy. We'll get to some problems with its size here in just a minute, but this is what it sounds like. You're listening to it right now. Next, we're switching to the Countryman Emw, which is a mic I've had a lot on this channel. It is an excellent microphone if you have the ability to plug it in and give it phantom power. It's not a good one for out in the field. It's good for stuff like this. It's got higher frequencies, picks up I think more clear vocals when it's on you. It needs 12 volts of phantom power for the quietest noise floor. Anything above that, you're going to get kind of a whoosh sound, but this is this compared to the Comica. Now we're listening to the Tascam DR10L microphone. I don't know what the actual microphone itself is called, but the DR10L comes with a microphone, and I've loved that thing, raved about it in multiple of these videos. So I'm just going to be talking to compare this to the Comica mic and to the Tascam DR10L and to the Countryman Emw. So what are the conclusions from this microphone? You've heard it, you've seen the signal. You know its distance, how far about it can go. It records not to a recorder, but to a computer, which is interesting. It's not my thing. I have recorders, I love recorders, I live by recorders, I die by recorders. But for people that don't, and a budget videographer who's just getting started out, this would make sense for a first purchase. So if you don't have a mic and you don't have a recorder and you want to get into video, maybe you spend all your money on a camera, this would be a good starter microphone because you can get away with it in post-production a lot better than other budget mics I've heard. Decent quality for the price point. Wireless is huge. Also USB into a computer if you don't have a recorder. So keep this mic in mind. But overall, I will never use this mic, never use a mic like this under a couple $100. The quality that I demand for the productions that I make outside of YouTube and on YouTube demand higher audio quality, and if I have to go with a lavalier mic, the cheapest I'll ever use is the Tascam DR10L, which I just sent to Norway, so that's gone. But I'm getting 2 new ones. So that's it. Check out the Fifine. I will link that below. Click on those links if you want to go buy one for yourself if you're starting out. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this review. If you own this mic or you want a budget mic like this, let's talk via the keyboards like we like to do here in 2018. Also, like the video, share the channel, keep spreading the audio gospel, and with that being said, I will see you next week.